The atmosphere at Anfield is heavier than ever. Liverpool, now under the command of Arne Slot, is living through one of those periods when every match feels like a mirror, reflecting not only the team's talent, but also the weight of the decisions that have shaped the club's present. And at the center of this storm stands the name everyone is talking about, Florian Wirtz. The German prodigy, signed for a staggering £116 million, was welcomed as the new jewel in the Reds' crown, a symbol of the new era Slot promised to build. For a few days, he was the most expensive player in British football history, until Alexander Isak overtook him, leaving fans wondering whether the shine of that crown was already being tested. Since his arrival, Wirtz has shown flashes of the genius that dazzled Europe while he wore the Bayer Leverkusen shirt. His passing, vision, and graceful touch evoke the elegant football that Jurgen Klopp so loved to see during his golden years in charge of Liverpool. But, to the fans' frustration, that brilliance has yet to explode. The numbers speak for themselves: 0 goals and only 3 assists in 14 matches. For a player of his price tag and reputation, that kind of statistic quickly becomes fuel for criticism and doubt. Yet, according to Bayer Leverkusen's own CEO, Fernando Caro, Wirtz's destiny might have taken an entirely different turn, and that's something Red supporters didn't take kindly to. In an interview with the German channel Sport 1, Caro dropped a revelation that sent shockwaves through European football. Wirtz would have chosen Real Madrid if the Spanish giants had made a concrete offer. He certainly would have gone to Madrid, said Caro, with the candor of someone who knows the young star's mindset intimately. If Xabi had made the offer, but Xabi has less say at Real Madrid than he does with us. That statement landed like a bombshell in Liverpool, not only because Real Madrid are the Reds' great historical rivals in European clashes, but because it touched on an open wound, the fear that the club is losing its appeal among the world's brightest young talents. What bothered supporters most was that Xabi Alonso, a Liverpool legend and Wirtz's mentor at Leverkusen, could have been the very link that took him to Madrid. The thought of seeing the young star reunite with his former coach at the Santiago Bernabeu stings at the pride of the Anfield faithful. However, fate had other plans. Real Madrid, though interested, never formalized an offer, and the battle ultimately came down to 3 giants: Bayern Munich, Manchester City, and Liverpool. Throughout the European summer, rumours circulated that Wirtz might even renew his contract with Leverkusen. The German club were willing to break their wage structure to keep him. But the player's desire spoke louder. He wanted a new challenge. He wanted to prove he could win the Champions League. Caro, in speaking about that decision, made clear the dilemma the youngster faced. He's someone who wants to win the Champions League, he explained. We believed that with the team we had, we could go further, but losing to Bayern in the round of 16 showed him how difficult it would be to conquer Europe with Leverkusen. Winning the Bundesliga was incredible, but the Champions League is another level.
And so Wirtz landed at Anfield, carrying the hope of becoming the piece that would place Liverpool back among the continent's elite. But the reality, so far, has been harsh. The midfielder seems trapped between the weight of expectation and the tactical demands of Arne Slot, a manager still shaping his own identity within the club. The intensity of English football, the relentless pace of the Premier League, and the constant pressure of a fan base used to miracles have all taken their toll. The moment of truth draws near, and it could come soon, on a familiar stage, haunted by ghosts, the Champions League against Real Madrid. Nothing could be more symbolic. The youngster who could have worn white will now face the club that almost seduced him. A match that isn't merely about points or qualification, but about destiny, pride, and validation. For Wirtz, it's the chance to prove he chose the right path. Some say he's been a victim of circumstance. After all, Liverpool as a whole still feels like a work in progress. Despite Slot's good intentions and a few promising flashes, the team lacks consistency. That may soon change if the rumours prove true. Reports from across the continent indicate that Liverpool plan to spend another £202 million in the next transfer window, targeting 3 signings meant to complete the squad's rebuild. However, according to sources close to the club, only one of those three targets is truly feasible at this point. Team Talk, a Premier League insider outlet, suggests that Liverpool are assessing their financial priorities carefully, something Arne Slot has been emphasising internally. The rebuild isn't just about spending, it's about finding the perfect balance between youth, talent and experience, something Klopp mastered at his peak. Meanwhile, another topic has begun echoing through the corridors of Anfield: the future of Milos Kerkez. The young Hungarian left-back, signed in the summer with high expectations, has yet to secure a regular place in the starting 11. Some believe the club are already rethinking that signing. According to transfer correspondent Dean Jones, the Reds are evaluating new defensive options, which could include a future deal involving Kerkez himself. And amid this whirlwind, one of the team's leaders has decided to speak out. Defender Ibrahima Konate, aware of the magnitude of the upcoming clash, delivered a short but powerful message to supporters ahead of the Real Madrid encounter. It was just 12 words, yet full of symbolism, a call for unity, belief and determination, the very ingredients that have always defined Liverpool's spirit. However, the Spanish press are already suggesting that Real Madrid no longer see Konate as a transfer priority. His inconsistent performances in recent weeks are said to have prompted the Merengues to accelerate negotiations with two other European defenders, reducing the chances of a potential move for the Frenchman to the Bernabeu. Thus, the clash between Liverpool and Real Madrid takes on an almost theatrical air. On one side, a club in reconstruction, trying to rediscover its soul under new leadership. On the other, the Spanish giant that remains both the mirror and the nightmare of the Reds' European ambitions. At the heart of this narrative, a 22-year-old carries on his shoulders the weight of a choice and the hope of a fan base that still believes in the magic of Anfield. Can Florian Wirtz turn doubt into redemption? Will he become the symbol of a new era under Arne Slot, or merely another chapter in Liverpool's desperate search for reinvention? The answer will come under the lights of the Champions League, when the anthem echoes and every pass, every touch, every second tells a story greater than the game itself. One thing is certain, the anticipation is colossal, and for a club accustomed to rising from the ashes, humiliation may well be the prelude to glory. Arne Slot knows it, Wirtz knows it, and Real Madrid will surely be ready to remind them, on the pitch, in their eyes, and on the scoreboard.